to popularize the community.
Well, we are talking about a possible monetary union, which means a common currency, which is something that we had before here, before independence, happening next year. But only last year, Uganda launched a new currency. What does that mean? That would look like things are not moving the way they should.
I don't know if you are talking about the paper. They didn't launch a new currency, did they?
They launched a new banknote design.
A new banknote.
They redesigned the banknote, yes.
Well, I don't think that because we are hoping to go to a monetary union, other processes should now be on a hold. I also saw new notes in other countries, including Tanzania, where I live. There are new banknotes. But I'm sure even when they are getting those, because new banknotes come in the system if you want to discard some notes that are getting too old.
Right.
So there will be instability in the financial market if you don't replace them. So I don't see any contradiction.
So to the common person should not worry about the redesign of the Ugandan currency.
No,
it doesn't show a disconnect.
No, the common person should not worry about that.
Kenya also launched a new constitution, and you just mentioned a possible East African constitution, which has to be a reality maybe 2 or 3 years before the union comes in place. Kenya launched a new constitution the other day based on federalism, a kind of federalism, the many brands. That does not show a disconnect as well, would you say?
Disconnect from what? Because we don't have
the walk down to the political union.
Yes, we do not have this federal constitution yet. When the time comes of making the new the constitution of East Africa, I'm sure the first step will be to look at the constitutions of the 5 countries, pick the areas of convergence, and pick those of divergence, then work on those areas of divergence in conformity to the principles that will have been agreed on by the 5 partner states. Again, as I say, unless Kenya's constitution, the new constitution, is so much departing from a political union, which it's not, I would be worried. But also probably tell you that in Tanzania, the process of the constitution making is on.
Yes, for the national constitution.
For the national constitution.
Right.
Those processes cannot stop because countries...
They continue to run.
They continue to run.
Yep.
Governments are there. These are sovereign countries as of now. But as they slowly give in their sovereignty, then these issues will have to be pointed out. Where are the similarities? Where are the differences? And how do we bridge those gaps?
Obviously, this is a very interesting scenario. Not even the European Union plans to have a political federation, even though they have a common currency. Will this be a switch on, with effect from midnight tonight, or is it going to be a process giving away sovereignty one step at a time?
Yeah, of course, Edmund, from what I've been saying, it cannot be an event that from midnight tonight, let's go into a political federation. All the processes that I've talked about are processes meant to support the process towards the final goal. You cannot say, let's now become one country when you've got different systems that you use to do certain things. But for us, the most important is to recognize the vision of the EAC, which is a peaceful, stable, and politically united East Africa. How do we attain that peace and stability? To tie that in with a political federation, you cannot move towards that political federation when you have not ensured your peace, your stability, and that you'll be able to maintain a strong political union. You have to maintain a strong one. We're saying that because of what happened in the past, East African community was very strong, then it collapsed. We're saying that every stage that we finish this time should be irreversible. In other words, we should do it so well. I've always said that this community will be like Jesus. Jesus died once and resurrected. He will never die again.
Right. So you want to resurrect it and you don't want it to die again. What are some of the obstacles in creating this kind of scenario?
The first one, I would say, information, dissemination.
Right.
The treaty for the establishment of the East African community says that this will be a people-centered and private sector-driven integration. For it to be people-centered, it means that all the people should know about this integration and the ultimate goal, the objectives, what they hope to achieve from there. Everybody should know. It's a challenge to us because we have not, I think we have not done enough in that regard. We need to do more. So sensitizing the public in East Africa is one of the challenges. And I'm glad when I get an opportunity like this one to talk, but also how many people listen to radios, how many people can access the media, houses and newspapers and so on and so forth. So we've come up with an information strategy and communication strategy which we are going to use to reach the masses through schools, through civil societies, and so on and so forth. The other challenge I see is the different outlook of the countries, the partner states themselves.
Yes.
There is an extent of slowdown,
yes,
in some of the countries where others may want to move fast, and I'm not saying moving fast per se is the best thing, but we have a decision-making mechanism where all decisions at the EAC are taken by consensus, where all meetings at the EAC have got to have the presence of the 5 partner states. The quorum is the presence of the 5 countries. For me, the decision-making mechanism is a setback in a way, because always getting consensus among 5 people is not very possible. And once we don't get consensus, we don't take a decision, we keep pushing it on and on. So therefore, if one country or 2 feel that they want to move slower than others, using this principle of consensus and the consensus making, decision making by consensus, you can slow down the integration. If you go by that, it means therefore that the speed of integration is determined by the slowest member.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-legged race. You can't run faster than your partner. Who's the next Secretary General?
Not very sure. Why? Because when we had 3 countries of East Africa, the rotation was very clear. But now with the coming in of the 2 countries, I think a decision has got to be taken whether, when the treaty was signed in 1999, the country that had the position served its term.
Yes.
Yeah, but I believe that in the coming few weeks, we should know when who the next Secretary General will be, because come April, the present Secretary General will be leaving.
But why should it be an issue? Because it's supposed to be passed on. You pass the baton to the next person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Edmund.
It should be automatic. It either goes to Rwanda or to Bujumbura, to Burundi.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't know. You are saying either. So I'm saying I don't know if it's Rwanda or Burundi or any other country.
Well, there was some sentiments that these 2 countries are probably not solid enough to have.
Well, I can't discuss those sentiments. I also read them in the press, and they were attributed to certain people that I have not had a chance to discuss with.
They have no substance.
No, that's not in my purview to discuss.
You're Deputy Secretary General.
Yes, but the Secretary General or Deputy does not appoint a Secretary General.
But you know about the processes.
Yes, the processes are. They are written down. They are very clear in the treaty. The Secretary General is appointed by the heads of state. Supposing
Rwanda and Burundi had not come in, who was supposed to be the next Secretary General? Where was it supposed to? He supposed to come from? He or she?
I think it should have gone to Kenya, because the Secretary General who is outgoing is a Tanzanian.
Yes.
He took over from Honorable Manya Mshega, who was a Ugandan.
True.
So if it was the 3 countries, it would automatically go to Kenya.
Would Kenya feel picked if maybe Kigali or Bujumbura took it?
I wouldn't talk for Kenya, Edmund. That would not.
Well,
be
in the
fair.
corridors in Arusha.
No. I'm a Deputy Secretary General. I can't discuss corridor talk. Honestly, I can't.
Why is it an issue in the first place? Because it should be automatic that either goes to Rwanda or to Burundi.
I'm also wondering, as much as you are, I don't know why it has become an issue. But for me, I don't mind which country. What I mind about is that the person that comes should be able to continue with us from where we are and carry the mantle because we are at a very, very critical time of integration now, as we move to the monetary union, as we consolidate our political integration.
Once again, before Rwanda and Burundi came in, how was the selection done?
Of the Secretary General?
Yes.
It was just...
One country sent a name.
Yes.
They looked at his CV.
No. First of all, they know which country is producing the next Secretary General.
Given, yes.
That government nominates a person whose name is sent to the summit, and the summit appoints the Secretary General, or the Deputy Secretary General.
So when Rwanda and Burundi were brought in, why was that not ironed out at that stage? Why is it becoming an issue?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't
You're Deputy
answer
Secretary
that.
General.
Yes, I know, but the Deputy Secretary General is not...
Is that something that you overlooked?
Edmund, I think you're pushing me to comment on something which I'm not competent to.
All right, we'll take a break, I guess. This is Spectrum on Radio, and tonight our question, what is the role of the East African community in nurturing and strengthening democracy in partner states? Specifically, what role is the community playing in ensuring peaceful, free, and fair elections in Uganda? Our guest tonight is Honorable Beatrice Kiraso, former woman member of Parliament for Kabarole District, now Deputy East African Secretary General in charge of Political Federation. Stay tuned because we'll be right back.